or something. This way. That's happened so many times now. All the semi-trucks are going on, guess, towards Gatineau. None are headed towards Laval or Montreal. Or better yet for me, Lachute. Oh, never mind, here comes one. Okay, the wind was nobody's fault, but okay. Dick move. Okay, just to explain, I'll tell you why I feel for the first truck with the back end trailer passing me was a dick move. I've seen that's happened to me quite a few times now in the well, 25 minutes that I've been doing this. It even happened to me yesterday whilst hitchhiking. There have been pickup trucks or just other small vehicles or just standardized vehicles, and now along this highway, semi-trucks that have literally back-end open trailers with nothing in them, ample room, absolutely ample room, they know it, and they're just passing right by me, just being completely dismissive. So that is absolutely infuriating. I'm more forgiving of the semi-trucks that are, well, delivery trucks for stock supply of companies that are transporting actual shipments. But drivers like those who have complete ample space in the trailers that are attached to their vehicles, you can absolutely take me. Now, for those of you saying, oh, but they don't want to pick up hitchhikers because what if you're a dangerous person? They don't know you. You could be a friggin' serial killer. Firstly, paranoia. Secondly, I will gladly ride with Cardi B here in the back of the trailer. I will just lie down to avoid being seen by police and just hang on. I will ride in the goddamn back of the trailer if they want. If they're too afraid to actually have me sit in their vehicle. I've done it before when I was living in Crow's Landing, Ontario, to get groceries when I didn't have Timmy, my motorized bike, because they were being repaired. So I will do it again. Come on. Pretty please? Oh my God. Oh, come on. Bus. Literally, provincial traveling bus. Hello. Please stop. Hey, come on. Come on. You fucking prick. Okay, sorry, I'm a little cranky right now. It's cold. Yep, it's cold. And I'm just a little worn out from dragging my wagon from where I was sleeping over there all the way around here. And I literally, I don't know if you can see it from here, there's a cutout in this wired fence that I dragged Cardi B through to get onto the highway here. So, yeah, I'm worn out, and I would really like to use the washroom as well, if someone would pick me up, and yeah, just drop me even so much as close, just a bit closer to the city of Lachute. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Oh, okay, let's see if they have anything, and if not, are they gonna be a dick? Oh, well, I can't see in the back of it. Oh, you barely had anything, so yeah, you're a dick. And you're also a dismissive dickhead. Of course. Very passive. Yep. S'il vous plaît. Come on. Well, other than the cold, it's quite a nice day out. This area is very scenic, I'll say that. At least to me. that almost took my hat away again. That's happened 2 times now. Again, I'm not mad at the drivers for that. That's no one's fault. That's just the velocity of the wind. Oh. Again, just my luck. I wish you were coming from the opposite end. Never mind. It looks like you're a treasury transport truck. Or, yeah, you actually might be. Or a banking transport truck, one of the two. Okay. What was the honk for? What was it? I'm not standing anywhere. I'm not standing anywhere close enough to the road to where it would disrupt your ability to drive straight forward. So what was the honk for? Just to tell me that you couldn't pick me up? Is that a hitchhiking, like, relay signal that I'm not aware of? I'll have to look that up. If it is, then I'm sorry for my ignorance right now. I shouldn't be getting mad at that if it is. But if it's not, then fuck you. Okay. I'm gonna keep at this, and then if I'm not picked up in the next, like, 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna start walking. Alright, screw Lachute. The town of Grenville for today will be fine. So, I made a bit of progress up that hill on the highway there, and then I was promptly turned around by the QPP, the Quebec Provincial Police, and this officer down there, you can see, though genuinely nice enough, a little emotionally devoid and seems more anxious. Actually, as I was walking back, they offered to escort me. And, well, then they saw this fence and was like, yeah, we could probably get your stuff over here. I'm now waiting for them to actually, oh good, they're coming. So, well, we made it through. All in all, they genuinely, well, they were nice enough, compassionate enough of an officer. They actually bothered to not just escort me to this little private road along this farm property, but all the way up it in case the owners got concerned of why I was walking through. But obviously, they were a bit, they could be a bit domineering from my short interaction with them. But they did say, well, hey, will you be good to make it to Grenville? Will you be alright? And I was like, yeah, I should be. Should be able to manage. And they were like, okay, well, if you're just in any sort of trouble, give us a call. We'll come help. Well, their definition of help and my definition of help are, for the most part, two completely different things. At least from a surface perspective. Surface level examination. But, well, at least they didn't make me turn around and go all the way back to the goddamn bridge. They were going to. But then, like, it wasn't even me who asked, hey, can I cut through here? It was actually the officer who, over there initially said, hey, why don't I try and actually help you lift your wagon over this fence here and see if you can get it onto this road, which apparently does not constitute as a highway. As that's what they stopped me for. As even though I had initially thought from looking it up and researching it that hitchhiking was completely legal on all roadways in Quebec, Canada. I guess the key word was roadways, and I guess highways don't constitute as said roadways. So, yeah. But, all in all, not much distance lost. I mean, from, well, back of the sign, still same amount of distance to Grenville and to Lachute. So, yeah. However, the officer did say they unfortunately would have to give me a citation. So, well, they didn't ticket me. At least if they did, they didn't give me any information on how to pay the ticket, or I could do so. Now, their provincial police, or in Québécois French, Sécurité de Québec, I think, is the name for the QPP. But, well, if they were a municipal cop and ticketed me for the county, or village, town, city, whatever, I most likely would have just, well, if I could pay it, I might have just paid it, and if I wasn't in a position to immediately pay it, well, then I would have just hopped to the other part of town or left town. So, yeah. But considering they're provincial, well, if they had ticketed me, well, another provincial cop would most likely see that on my record because they have my ID jotted down in their system. But as for just giving me a citation, because they didn't tell me that I had to pay anything. That might just mean they've put out a warning to this region's policing branch about me. Or it might just mean they've put it into their system that on my record for the province of Quebec, in terms of walking on highways, they've already given me a warning. So that if another officer checks said record, then they can be like, hey, you were already warned. So, yeah, that's not fun. But at the very least, they did help to some degree. Help me actually solve the issue that their judicial system caused, which is a completely ludicrous law again, as far as I'm concerned, and disruptive. But no matter, that's their psychological indoctrination as of who they are as a person right now. I hope they self-reflect and make changes to their livelihood. Okay, there's a tour bus there. You know what? I might go knock on that person's door and see if they'd be more than willing in some manner, to give me a ride to either, well, maybe not Grenville, because, well, given the distance, it seems that I can walk it, but, maybe to Lachute. I don't know why they own a touring bus. Maybe they run an independent touring company, or provincial travel company, and they just happen to live out in the middle of the countryside. I'm not sure, but I'll find out one way or another. Okay, I'm not gonna make any more footage, most likely, until I actually get to Lachute. Okay, bye. In Granville or from Granville? Just anywhere in Granville would be fine.
Yeah, go to Granville, in the village.
I've never been there before, but I was initially trying to get to Lachute, but figured Granville would be closer. Oh, it's okay, thank you. I ate a bit earlier. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, what the heck? Only one direction on this sign is correct. That being Montebello is west of here. Gatineau and Lachute are not north of Grenville. Gatineau is also west of this town, and Lachute is northeast, barely even northeast. It's pretty well just east of here. Good job, Grenville municipal government. Good one. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, that sign is correct. Coming from this direction, going westbound, but not that fucking sign. Well, hello. Nice to meet you. I think you came running out from over behind that hedge. Well, I don't know what exactly attracted you to me, but, well, probably some amount of food I have. Oh. Oh. That's an interesting little interaction. Have a nice day, dog. So, I made it to Lachute, Quebec. It's quite a bustling small city. Actually, in terms of the downtown area, I was very surprised with how lively it actually is. Well, seemingly from now the 2 days that I've been here, most points of, well, daytime, and even at night. Considering the fact that it's a very small city. It borders, at least from geographers' standards, borders on being a very large town in terms of urban expansion as of current, at the time that I'm visiting it. But, well, it's got many very nice and interesting things about it. But, given the fact that I've taken, well, I took the majority of yesterday and, well, most of the earlier half of today to explore a large portion of city, well, I can already, I've already bared witness to quite a bit of societal corruption. Oh, joy of joys. In fact, no, not. I wouldn't say it's on par with Gatineau, from what I've seen and researched. But, well, it's close. It's close. As you'll see, I'm sure, in the clips that I'll be splicing on after this portion of the video. All the clips coming after this one, except for, I don't know, the last 8, starting with me showing the decommissioned train station, starting from there onward, all those clips after that are filmed today, and all clips before that come after this portion I filmed yesterday. I know, a little confusing the way I've set it up in terms of editing, but whatever. In terms of just, well, setting, the city, the downtown area especially, is very much Quebecois Canadian cultural. Very much. It's got a variety of small businesses that are, well, Quebecois in terms of tradition. And there's a Chinese restaurant that I ate at today that is it has a mix of authentic Chinese cuisine as well as some more Canadianized dishes and some Americanized dishes, but regardless, as far as I'm concerned, it's very authentically made. Very authentic. Even, well, with the North American modified dishes. It's very delicious, and the staff was very, very nice. I also today ate at an ice cream shop / cafe. That was also very, very, very nice. And in regards to communal information that I was trying to gather, which you'll see towards the end of the video, I was asking around, or I've been asking around certain businesses, and asking just employees who I thought were locals here about, well, a certain neighborhood towards the west end of the city, down from this main stretch of road that runs through Lachute, down a road called Lefebvre, can't pronounce it right. Lefebvre South, a neighborhood down there. But apparently I've come to find that at least along this main stretch of road, many people who are employed at, well, the businesses that are set up along here don't actually seem to, well, most of them don't seem to actually live in Lachute. They either live on the outskirts of the city or live in the town of Grenville, Quebec, or they live on the opposite side of Grenville over the Ottawa River. They live in the city of Hawkesbury, Ontario. Or some live in Montreal, Laval, some Longueuil, or Boisbriand, I believe, is the city that neighbors Longueuil to the west. Not Longueuil. Longueuil's to the east of Montreal. That borders Laval to the west, because it's not on an island. Or the city of Saint Jerome, which is further up, northeast of Lachute. But, yeah, so that's interesting. Especially considering the fact that it's very clear that the municipal government seems to put a lot of, seems to focus a lot more on their, in terms of their infrastructure funding plans. Well, they seem to focus heavily on the downtown area, the very touristy section of the small city. And okay, from what I'm going to showcase in this video after this bit, well, it's very saddening because if you look on a map, satellite imagery or if just any paperback roadmap, if you have one of that's modern and up to date of the area. Like I said, Lachute is a very small city in Quebec. Very small city. And yet, the very obvious disparities I've seen, even for a human settlement this size, like in terms of mass corporate exploitation, governmental corruption, as I've also seen with patrols from local police and the QPP running through here. Well, it's just I'll say this city Lachute feels like, from what I've experienced, it feels like a bigger place, a bigger city than it actually is, just atmospherically. It feels a lot bigger than it is, both in better ways, but also, as I've said, in worse ways. And it's very sad. Before whatever clips play after this, well, before I edit them in, I want to quickly just, as I found this interesting, I'll just tell a story of what happened to me between me getting stopped by Quebec Provincial Police and then hitchhiking further into Grenville from the opposite road that wasn't the highway, and me actually getting picked up by some very nice passerbys, drivers on the road. I'll just tell a very interesting thing that happened while I was just walking through, I believe the village was called Chute, something along those lines. So I got into that village on my way to Grenville. It was getting closer to dusk, and I was still hitchhiking. And in the village, I saw up this long driveway from the road that I was on. A small house, and two people were working. It just seemed like doing some amount of yard work there. And I noticed that they had an empty pickup truck. So I bothered to just walk up and say hello. Sorry to bother you. I was just wondering if, well, I noticed that you had an empty pickup truck. I was wondering maybe if it's possible when you're done with whatever you're doing, if you might be able to give me a ride into Grenville once you're finished. And they were apparently, it seemed like they were part of a maintenance, these two were working for seemingly maybe a small business maintenance company of some kind, or just they were maybe freelance landscaping workers. So the person who I talked to basically said, no, I've got stuff to do here, like, what's the issue? don't have any time to take you anywhere. Where did you say you wanted to go? And I was like, Grenville. Little ways from here. And then they said, no, that's not possible. And then they noticed my wagon and it was like, that your stuff? And I said, yep, it is. And then they started walking down the long driveway towards it. And the whole time they were telling me, no, well, we're busy doing stuff here. We can't just up and drop what we're doing and take you there. And because kept going on about how they're very busy with what they're doing. And as we were walking down the driveway, I was just telling them, because I was walking beside them, no, that's okay, sorry to have bothered you. I said, if when you're done with what you're doing, but clearly you guys have a lot to do. Yeah, okay, message received and understood. I can tell that you're busy. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I've said sorry for bothering you. I won't pester you about this. Why are you still walking towards my wagon? So we get right to Cardi B, and they start pulling it a bit, just like a few, like 10 feet along the road or so, like 9 or 10 feet. And they're like, is this heavy to you? That this isn't heavy at all. And I was like, well, it's heavy when you're walking a long while. I'm able to manage it. It's gotten lighter because I've taken some stuff out of it. And said I was just hoping to reach Grenville, ideally before nightfall. To which they replied, well, this isn't heavy. This isn't heavy at all. You're just lazy, bro. Grenville isn't far from here. In the Ottawa River, I can paddleboard that in like 15 minutes or so. And in my head, I was like, cool. Fantastic for you. Good cardio. Good workout. Good for your legs. Good for your muscular strength to go paddleboarding in a paddle boat. I think that's what... it's good for you. Good exercise, whatever it is. And I was like... Okay, after he said that, he was just like... I was like, okay, alright. Have a nice day. And then he just said, you're young. You're fit, you're young, you can walk that amount of distance. You're just lazy. I've got stuff to do. And I interrupted them and just said, okay, alright. Yes, have a nice day. And then they just walked right back up the driveway. So, from that brief interaction with that individual, psychoanalysis, I could already deduce, well, they are very much a domineering narcissist. Yeah, that was very obvious. Which, by the way, yeah, you were, if you want to go with like a lot in terms of your logic here, yeah, you were clearly very busy, given the fact that you claiming to be very busy, and yet you had enough time to walk all the way down the driveway, pull my wagon to demonstrate how lazy and how physically weak, I guess, I am, and then tell me that I am lazy and tell me that you could just boat that in 15 minutes or so, and that I'm young and that you should just suck it up and deal with it. Yeah, you had enough time to do that. So you were clearly even after I had said, no problem, no issue, sorry to have bothered you. And you had already told me that when I had first approached you at the top of the driveway by the house. Yeah, clearly you were very busy. So yeah, that was an interesting little encounter. One quick thing I'll also state before the rest of the clips play. The last clip that I think I'll put in here, when I was talking to a store employee over down a ways who said that they didn't live here in the city. They lived in the countryside, or the wilderness, actually. I said that they were being a bit egotistical, which they were. They were to some degree, overly. But I was being a dickhead when I said that, well, they had initially said that they could just help me with general understanding for the information I was trying to inquire about, just in terms of the city locale, which they did not specifically say. So that was idiotic of me to say. But so yeah, and also they might have just misunderstood my question a bit. But well, either way, I shouldn't have said that at the end, but that was unnecessary of me. It's been a long. It's I've been here. It's 7 o'clock. I've been here just 2 days, and it's well. It's been here. Oh shit! No, what am I saying? I didn't arrive yesterday. I arrived the day before at night. And I slept down by the river there. And then I went exploring all of yesterday of the city. So yeah, 2 days, but oh, whatever. I don't know. It's all blurry. I've done so much in literally in just the past week and a half with my life right now that it's kind of blurring together at points. Just cognitively. And that's not a brag. That's not a brag at all. Oh, yeah. This, here. So, because of the clip that will start off this video, and other incidents, I'm forgetting how to properly pluralize that. Okay, fuck, whatever. Because of incidents I've experienced with hitchhiking. Well, I decided to make a sign for now, because after I leave Lachute, I'm headed to the city of Laval, Quebec. The third biggest city in the province. And I was originally going to write this on cardboard if I could find some, but that didn't end up working out too well. But to my luck, I found a plastic, well, a scrap plastic sheet just on the sidewalk, and I took the time to write on it. So, yeah, I'll give any of you French speakers out there, anyone who understands, really any amount of French, but this is Parisian French, to read over that. And now I'll put up the English translation. Okay, you can pause the video to read the rest. Like I said, unfortunately I used Google Translate. It's in European French, it's not in Quebecois French, so hopefully any drivers on the road will still, at least in some form, be able to understand it. So, yeah. It's funny, the person who picked me up when I was leaving Gatineau and brought me all the way to Thurso, and when we had lunch together, we were talking about different things, and especially in relation to socio-political and socio-cultural issues. And when we got to the small business restaurant in the town and ordered our food, they were telling me they felt very, like, I think they said they felt very they felt a bit uneasy, I guess, because it felt like everyone was staring at them because they were the only black person in the entire, seemingly in the entire town, given that they were Burkina Faso. And then I said, well, they're staring at you because you're black, and most of them will probably start staring at me because I'm not Quebecois and I'm not speaking Quebecois French. So, I believe they knew or learned how to speak Quebecois French, as they initially, well, Burkina Faso, they had known Western African Creole French, which I also don't speak. I have no ability to speak any variant of West African Creole. In terms of French dialect, I don't know how. I speak absolutely no French in no regard other than the little bits of Metropolitan and Quebecois French that I can somewhat pick up or have picked up at this point. Speaking of which, actually, from what I've noticed in terms of my explorations of Lachute, obviously, given what I said, culturally, it's very Quebec. It's absolutely very Quebecois. Racially, the town is not a town. It's a small city. It's obviously not very diverse. Racially, it's predominantly white, and ethnically, it's predominantly Quebecois. But I've seen some amount of other racial demographics here and there at points. And I've seen some amount, especially here in the downtown area, of LGBTQ plus culture to some degree. But again, for the most part, it's predominantly also heteronormative, which obviously is not inherently a problem. It's just, well, just an observation. But yeah. Thankfully, though, there's a laundromat which is also a hotel and a nightclub down there, a ways towards the eastern end of the city, or the downtown area. So I'm gonna, and it's coin operated, so I'm going to go actually wash the clothes that I would like to wash, which, oh yeah, I didn't end up actually getting done in Gatineau. That didn't end up happening, so I'll hopefully do it there. And I'll ask if I can maybe have a shower in one of the rooms if they have a room available. I won't ask to stay there tonight because I'll be fine sleeping in my tent and sleeping bag outside. So yeah, enjoy the clips that are spliced in after this and take what you will from them. So I'm in the hotel slash nightclub slash laundromat, just washing the clothes that I can. Very kind person let me borrow their detergent, so for the machine. So very nice. Happy about that. If you're wondering why the camera is shaking a bit vigorously, it's because the machine. But I'm just adding in this clip here because I actually forgot to mention when I was at the Chinese restaurant, one of the employees gave me a fortune cookie, and I ate it, obviously. But my fortune was this. If it'll ever focus. There we go. Well, let's hope very good coincidence follows that. Either that or they're all just, the cookies are rigged to say the same exact fortune by the manufacturers. They just distribute it to varying locations just so that no one catches on. I don't know, obviously, but here's to hoping. Cecil! Whoops. Well, that's a difference. Smack in the middle of this. Mainly what appears to be standardized middle-class neighborhood. Oh shit. I guess I'm walking all the way back. Oh me, oh my, oh fa la la la, expansionism really hurts my eyes. Okay, never mind. The restaurant I saw back in downtown Gatineau, well, it was either a mega or a moderate corporation. I just want to take a quick second to point out this. As for you, Tevek, let's say you pronounce it, Tevek Home Wrap. You seem to be, well, some sort of mega corporate construction paper provider, because you are absolutely everywhere. I've seen you not just on construction sites within covering the structuring or the developing structuring, the in development structural facilities of buildings here in Quebec. I haven't just seen it here on construction sites, but also in Ontario, mainly in Ottawa. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. Okay. Maybe it's just me, but this one singular house here with a very wide open yard and lots of tree life, far more than any of the other houses along this street. Why does it remind me of the one from Monster House? Monster House, that film. It just does for some. Or no. What's the other one? Oh fuck! It's on the tip of my memory recall. The Spiderwick Chronicles. The Spiderwick Chronicles. Does anyone remember that film? I have not seen that film in such a long time. I have no clue what. I don't remember my last opinion on whether it was well made or just half decent or a really poorly made film. It for some reason reminds me of the house in that movie. And then there's just an open vacant lot here. I was contemplating actually stopping and sleeping in this last night. But, well, considering it's very closely, well, it's sandwiched in between these houses, I figured to go up a ways and set up camp by the very much flooding river. Which, still contemplating whether that was a smart idea to do or not. This is, well, the main stretch of road that runs through the downtown area of the city. And from what I can tell, it stretches all the way from west to east, going directly outward towards the rural areas. So obviously, the certain amount of tourists who would be passing through here just on their way to the downtown area, which is bustling, which I'm still surprised by for the actual size of, well, Lachute as a city. Well, they just passed by these concrete dividers and wouldn't ever think to turn down there. Fair to say, well, most would think, oh my god. Yeah, good thing you turned. For a second, I thought you were speeding up. And you weren't actually gonna make it to swivel around those. Well, good thing you did. So, I'm down a ways from what is very obviously a lower income area of, well, the main stretch of road down a ways from that community, and oh, looky what we have here. Going off towards the westernmost end of Lachute, getting to the edge of the city that would exit to a nearby freeway. Fucking condos. And if I read that sign correctly last night, if I'm recalling correct, and if I think you can see, yeah, I'm sure there'll be somewhere around here and over there. I'm sure there will be more going in at some point. Now, if any of you have watched my exploration videos now for a bit of different cityscapes and just areas, or populated areas, well, with especially the most recent content, and if any of you bother to take time out of your day to watch at the very least some or a couple of my videos full through. I thank you very much if you do. Well, you probably have picked up on, well, a specific theme. What's that theme? Well, let's say it with me now. Pseudo-segregation in terms of city structuring and societal layout. Where is it? I think it's... Where's the road? Okay, up there. I think it's at the intersection. Anyway, there's a road around here that goes down there. And oh, looky this. A large patch of forest that's untapped by any land developers, or at the very least, as far as I can tell right now, it's not being marketed by any major real estate companies. But from an aerial view, looking on satellite mapping, I've noticed there is a neighborhood down there of houses. And even from an aerial view, and I didn't even bother yet to look at a street view of the area, well, I'm going to take a guess, and I could be wrong, but I'm fairly confident that I'm not at the moment. I'm going to take a wild guess what types of housing developments are down there. And I'd like all of you to take a wild guess as well with me. Go on, guess before you watch any further in the video to find out. Because I haven't explored down there yet. So, shall we? So, yes. Looked on the map. The neighborhood I'm trying to get to, as you can see, is at... Well, you turn down this intersection, down this somewhat dark and decrepit road. Oh, and interestingly enough, I guess I'll talk more about this tomorrow when I film another clip for this video, but to briefly sum up, there's a rail track that runs straight through the city. And over through even in the downtown area, or in the, well, lower income community that I was just in, there's not even any sort of safety guard for, well, any pedestrians that go by the tracks, or that play by it. But, conveniently, well, there's one here, or at least there's some sort of actual toll alert system here that actually indicates to drivers coming into this or out of this roadway if a train's coming, but not down there. No. Oh, and looky there. I'm starting to get a bit of a picture of that neighborhood. And what do you know? My suspicions are, well, from what I can see from here, they're getting ever so gratified. But, 3 very expensive bourgeois cars. Oh, and here comes a small motor vehicle of some kind that apparently is engaging in a fucking drag race of some kind, or half a drag race with the other driver there. Huh, wow. Let's continue on through this darkened roadway and see what's on the other side of the tracks. Getting ever so closer, and that suspicious gratification is ever growing. Of fucking course. Very expensive, very valuable, very high-end, very well-maintained, wealthy housing units. Of course it is. From what appears to be in terms of just infrastructure, wow, ultra rich, to some upper middle class as well. Bordering on elitist wealth. Let's go into the park area here. Oh, and if you can see the cars going by up there. Yep. Main roadway is way the hell over there. Just way tucked over. Or, well, I guess more accurately, this place is tucked away. Because, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? You know, okay. I'll film around the area, I'll walk through, explore, and then say what I'm gonna say when I start to make my way out again. Actually, sorry, I don't mean to bother you. I was wondering if you could maybe give me a bit of a sense of geography here.
Okay. What are you searching?
I was just wondering, what would you say the average, well, income of people who live around here would be?
Maybe more that way. Like, go like on the end of the road, just right here, and turn on your right, and like bunch of people's gonna be there.
Oh, no, I mean, like, say, finance. Wealthy area, or?
Okay. So you're searching your way. I mean, I don't know because I don't live here.
Ah.
So yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night. swear to Christ, what is it with these well-off areas and cats? Well, you just chase them from over here all the way up the damn pole. God. Look, I don't want to... Okay. Look. I don't want to cause you two any trouble. But I also hope you two... Well, I wish you two wouldn't cause each other trouble. So all I can say is, play nice. Oh. Your name looks vaguely familiar. I keep seeing a bright strobe flash coming from that direction. At that airport. So it's starting to rain. Don't know if you can tell. Now that we're out of bourgeoisie town, I can say what I wanted to say. So, I think you know the sentiment I have to an area like that by now. So I won't go over my whole spiel about it. But in terms of how that neighborhood was very, very obviously strategically designed and placed, the land development company for that area, without a doubt, had the financial ability. I think it's this way. It's the main road. Ah, yeah, it is. Without a doubt, had the financial ability to buy up the adjacent forest to that neighborhood. The one that connects to the opposite end of this area, down a ways to the west of Lachute. Well, in Lachute. Anyway, they most definitely had the ability to obtain the property rights to the land that touches the lower income areas on the main road. They absolutely had the ability to. And obviously also had the financial ability to hire construction crews and excavation teams and landscaping companies to mow down the tree life and shrubs of the area to begin building development. It's very clear that they did. But they very obviously, strategically, didn't. And it was 100%, as far as I'm concerned, for the purposes of pseudo-segregating that area off from this area, to enclose it and tuck it away from this community. It's very obvious. area was designed for the purposes of division, so that the economically privileged residents of that neighborhood over there with an airport beside it. I don't know anything about that airport. In the morning, I'm actually going to look into whether or not that's just a public regional airport or if it's a private airport. From the looks of it over there, it didn't seem public. I didn't see very many, well, what looked to be functioning crop dusters for any of the rural farmers in the surrounding countryside. And it's also, well, it being a public regional airport for the city of Lachute. Well, that notion isn't supported by the fact that I was seeing at this late an hour, it's right now 10:49 at night, back when I was filming about, let's say, 9:30 to 10. Well, I was seeing planes taking off every, like, 15 minutes. No, seriously, like every 15 minutes, on the dot, there was just planes taking off. I don't know for what reason. But at this hour, I wouldn't think it would be to, well, spray pesticides over the crop life of the farmlands outside of the city. So, yeah, I don't know, I'll have to look into that in the morning, but I'm not gonna, for anyone who's trying to give benefit of the doubt to whatever real estate company owned the land and then sold it to the development companies, that, oh, well, maybe it was just a more scenic area or high-end value for their target customers. Well, A, that's a consumerist ideal, and I think you already know my thoughts on that. 2, scenic area? Really? What scenic area? From an aerial viewpoint, that land was all just woodland, forest, complete forest. It would have made no difference for scenic environment if they had actually decided to buy up the adjacent land to this main road right over there and then start production on housing in that area and mow down those trees, place whatever buildings they were going to there, and have it be right next door to, or quite literally connecting to, in terms of roadways, building connecting road passages to this area over here. They could have easily done that. It would have been, scenic wise, it would have been no different. Oh, I'm sorry, actually. Well, their target demographic. Well, scenic, I guess. As I said, strategic, away from all this. Away from it. So, yeah. And it's really surprising me. I know I've been noticing even wealth disparity, and obviously this exists in the rural areas too, but it was so, at least on my way from here, well, from Grenville to here, it was very apparent, like an immediate divide as well, just in the rural areas. Whoa, that's an interesting effect. What's going on? Just looked at the actual camera. It was covered with water. That was an interesting effect with the lighting. But yeah, however, in terms of pseudo-segregation, for something like that, I would have never expected the elites to have their eyes on such a small city like this, like Lachute, Quebec. Never would have expected that, at least as extensive as it clearly is. In a city this size, even. Well, just goes to show you how big the damn problem is. So, okay. As for that area and that airport, I've got to do some research in the morning, so. And now I'm gonna make it back to the downtown area and back to Cardi B, because they're still just sitting there alone, just locked up. Okay. Nighty night. Alright, I was actually somewhat wrong. Apparently there is a bit of fencing along the rail tracks that runs through the downtown area. But I think you can see from here it's very short. Doesn't extend very far, only through a major portion behind the actual main street. And what appears to be actually a station. Maybe actual cargo trains run through here. Not sure. Okay, yeah, never mind. It's a historical site. It's not actually a functioning station. une belle voix française. Anglais?
Pardon?
Anglais?
Anglais? Yes?
Sorry, I'm not here to eat anything. I was actually just wondering if I could speak to someone around here who might know, be able to provide me a bit of information about a certain part of town.
Okay, just a minute. Maybe? Hello?
Hi. Sorry to bother you. I was just wondering, would you be able to tell me anything about a certain neighborhood down at Lefebvre South and by the airport?
Who's the girl for the bar?
Oh,
Okay? The girl is over there.
okay.
This here. Okay?
Okay.
Hey. Okay. Yes.
Hi. I was wondering if by chance you could provide me some information about a neighborhood down by Lefebvre South and Bradford.
The what?
The neighborhood, just that's down towards the west end of the city by the airport.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the dépanneur can send you some information. I'm not from Lachute, so I don't really know.
Oh, right. Sorry, which?
The side there, the dépanneur.
The canal.
C'est comment qu'on dit? Le couche-tard?
Is it another restaurant or? Is
No, it's where you can buy some liquor, chip, or cigarette. Just over there. Just go there, and the place just behind there.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you. That's it. Anglais?
Yeah, I can speak English.
Sorry to bother you. I'm not here to buy anything. I actually was just wondering if you by chance could give me some information about a certain neighborhood down towards the west end of the city.
Where?
It's a neighborhood by, well, it's where the roads, Lefebvre South and Bradford meet by what I guess would be the regional airport.
Yeah. I mean, I live more in the village, so I don't even know about like things like too far from my house. So, but do you have like a phone?
Yes, I do, but I just meant to, if you know anything about, say, the general income average of people around the area.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. As for the airport, would you maybe know, is it more of a public regional airport for like farming crop dusters, or is it
Public.
Oh, it is public. Okay. Alright.
There's way much people than here
Ah,
at this place.
alright. I was seeing a lot of plane activity last night taking off from there.
Yeah. No.
It,
But yeah, alright.
okay, thank you. Good day. What is it with the directions in this region of Quebec and not being fucking correct? Yeah, so south, that's correct, that's the southern end of the city, but that's not the northern end of the city. That's the northern end of the city. That's the west. What the fuck? Yeah, that's correct. That's it. So what, was the other sign literally right over there, just indicating where this sign was to tell you where the northern end of Lachute is? What the fuck? Okay. Sorry, I'm not here to buy anything. I was actually just wondering if anyone here could give me a bit of information about a certain neighborhood down towards the west.
Questions about a neighborhood down west?
About what?
Just a neighborhood down towards the west end of the city.
Where is it? Yes, sir.
If you could possibly tell me the enclosed neighborhood that's down on the February South and Bradford by the airport. What's the general, say, well, residency like, if possible, in terms of income? The neighborhood that's just down by the February. Oh, okay. That's okay. Do you know anyone around the area who might?
Isn't there a city hall close here too?
Okay. That's alright. Thank you anyway. Have a good day. Bonjour. Je ne connais pas français, anglais? Anglais?
Oh, I'm English.
Sorry to bother you. I'm actually not here to buy anything. I was just wondering if either of you could potentially give me some information about the western end of town a bit. The neighborhood that's down on February South and Bradford by the airport. I was wondering if you could give me a general guess as to what the income range of most people around there would be.
Oh, well, honestly, I have no idea about that.
That's alright.
Probably not the biggest, I have to say.
As for the airport, it's public, correct?
Yeah. Alors, l'aéroport ici, c'est public. Le public, c'est spécialisé. Yeah, they get courses and stuff there. It's like, you know about that place there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just go up there if you want. But it's like a course place.
Alright. Well, thank you.
Little guy,
It's public, and yet it's going up for sale, or at least a portion of the land is going up for sale. Interesting. Bonjour, je ne connais pas français.
Comment? Si je parle anglais? I speak English? No.
Oh.
What do you?
Out of curiosity, I was just wondering if you might be able to provide me with some information about the west end of the city.
You speak
What?
Swahili?
The west end of the city.
Okay.
Wondering if you could tell me some things about it.
The girl? Bonjour, girl. Speak English.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
You need help?
Kind of. I actually was just
Okay.
I was just wondering if someone might be able to tell me some information about the west end of the city.
Okay, where are you looking to get to?
Well, I'm not looking to get to anywhere. I just want to know just a bit of general, I guess, information. The neighborhood down on the February South and Bradford.
Okay.
Would you be able to tell me just a bit about some of the residents there?
this is Valleyersville, and where the trucks are. It's usually the poorer people.
Sorry, I don't know.
It's usually the poorer people that are here.
Oh,
There's a lot of housing, but
not the main road here.
no. Airport.
One by the airport. Or back.
Okay, Granda. Okay, what about it?
Uh,
It's family residential.
seems to be the opposite of poor.
Yeah, well, there's the rich houses and then there's just the blocks.
Would you be able to tell me anything about the rich houses?
Rich houses, no. I don't live in the rich house apartment.
That's okay. Well, thank you anyway. Good day. I'm not here to order anything. I was actually just wondering if you might be able to tell me some general information. I'm not here to order anything. I was just wondering if you were able to give me some general information about the city. Sorry. Oh, from Montreal. Okay. Do you know where City Hall might be? Okay. That's alright. I'm gonna kill whoever is fucking in charge of signage directions in this goddamn region of the province. Bonjour. Est-ce que tu ne fais pas français, anglais? Une français, anglais?
Yeah, speak English.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not here to buy anything. I actually was just wondering if you might be able to give me some general information of the city, if I can.
Oh, yeah, Lachute?
Oh, yeah.
Like a restaurant or like...
No, actually, I was just wondering about the western end of the city, mainly the neighborhood that is encompassed by the streets Lefebvre, south, and Beaufort by the airport.
Okay, so like Airville?
I believe that's what
Yeah,
some
it's
people.
like Israel, yeah, but it's like a place like everybody can like go and it's like they don't have like I don't know how can I say it, but apartments are not that like expensive.
Very expensive.
No, not that expensive. So that's why there's a lot of people that live most there, like in buildings and everywhere, and that's why. And it has a park and the control for kids.
What would you say the general like income of most average residents of that area would be?
I don't know.
It seemed quite wealthy when I was touring around there. And as for the airport, is it a city run or is it?
No, it's just like an airport, like for people that just like have a permit for flying and they do it for fun.
The airport itself, is it privatized by a?
Yeah, it's private, I think. It's not public. Like you need like you can do like your permit for having your your flight permit, and then like it's just privé, so you can go and fly like for fun. It's like in Montreal, like Dorval, big airport.
It looked like it was up for sale when I was there, or at least a portion of it when I was over there.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know everything about this part of the city.
By expensive, what would you count as being expensive for over there, like the average price of apartments?
I don't know, like, but I can tell you, like, I'm not I don't know the price myself.
Would you have like a guess?
No, I don't live there, so I can tell you because I don't live in Lachute. I work here, but I live in Gore. I live up in like the woods, like more nights.
Okay.
So I don't know, like I know the city, but just because I work here.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. You could ask maybe someone like going there, or I don't know. Maybe they have more like info than me because I don't have that much.
That's okay. Thank you.
Have a good day.
I caught them being a little bit more egotistical than I think they might have wanted me to. They got a little anxious when I was actually asking further about the city, even though they said that, yeah, I can maybe give you some general information, and actually, well, confirmed to me what I already knew about that area being incredibly expensive, or, well, I guess they said they didn't think so, but then they couldn't exactly tell me what the average price range for most of the housing around there would be. But don't worry, I can make a guess. Okay, I'm gonna cobble this video together and then do some more research on that area. But I think I've gotten as much information as I'm gonna get.